All right, I think this is one of the more anticipated shows of the year.
Not for me.
There are so many people that want the reaction to the Freddie Andersen reaction.
Well, what the heck? Like, that
People
could
have
been
been waiting all
dangerous.
day.
I'll be
All
honest,
day for
that
this.
could have been very dangerous. Like, that's the first thing I thought for myself.
For those of you
being a
not
TV.
aware of this, and if you're not, then I don't know what rock you've been living under or what cave you've been living in. But last night, third period, Freddie Andersen, post to post, massive stop on Rasmus Dahlin, saved the game for the Maple Leafs. And then out of nowhere on TSN 4, it cuts to the studio, and you're watching the game.
Yeah.
And Pooley.
And Pooley and Bob and
Yeah.
Duffy's in there, but you are the centerpiece of the shot, and you were in awe. And you had a face that was, I think, replicated throughout Leafs Nation. People couldn't believe he made that stop, but no one's ever seen that before. No one's ever seen that.
In my defense, Brian, why don't you get the guy that was in the control room and ask him? Because I have no idea what the hell happened. I find it so funny, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is so funny. This is funny."
We should
funny,
call
funny,
Billy.
funny. But
Who was in the?
if I was picking my nose or doing something stupid, and that guy put me on the screen like that, I would have lost my you-know-what. Lost it.
You don't think it was intentional?
No, I don't.
It wasn't intentional.
Buddy, I have no. I don't know what the hell. I don't even know which camera to not walk in front of.
Yeah,
But
that's
that could have been a
Minister.
disaster. And thank God I was just looking at the play.
Now you're a meme.
Do you wanna-
What's it like to be a meme?
What's a meme? Like, what is it? Like,
Well, where
You're a meme.
The face,
A meme.
they caption it.
A meme.
You're a meme. They caption your face, and that's what people were doing, was captioning you.
uh,
But should we? Who was running the control? Was it Billy or Mocker?
Billy was, but it was some other guy that had control of something or whatever.
We should cold call Billy and see if Billy will pass the buck, and be like, no, like, what if he does the Harry and Lloyd and just point like does the? It wasn't me. It was when Seabass was pissed about the salt shaker.
Someone's got to fall on the sword for that.
Somebody has. It was somebody's fault. It wasn't yours. You were an innocent bystander watching.
I'm just watching
a
the
hockey game and had a reaction to a great save.
That's why, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong, and it was funny. There's nothing wrong with it. It was just a reaction.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. I don't think it's anything.
But what
But I just
could
find it
have
weird
been?
how that never happened in the history of a live event at TSN. But guess what? It happens to me.
What do you think has happened before in the history of TV? What's more likely where it's happened at some point since, television has been around? During a game, big game, third period, close game, out of nowhere, cuts to the studio, and there's an analyst sitting there watching it.
Right.
Or someone is conducting an interview with the prime minister and someone walks in front of the camera. Which one do you think has happened before yesterday? Or do you think you hold the record for both?
For double, like you had 2 incidents in one day. And then if you want to double, make it 3 but that one was more choreographed where you attacked that weird mascot.
Right. Well, that was a bit.
That was a bit.
But wouldn't you think, because I don't know what's going on in there, as you know, someone would be like, "Hey, don't don't walk in," like nothing.
There's
They
only
just let
50 people in there.
No, there's 75 people in there.
Yeah,
but
there
just
was
you
all
just
of
walk in
TSN.
front of it, and then afterwards it's like, "Hey, you walked in front of it." And the King Daddy topper was Bobby and his panel with Dregs and Pierre. Gord was down at the game. They had their final hit of the day. And while they were doing it, I get up and I go grab a Diet Coke or something or other. And on the way back, someone says to me, "You've got to go this way back to the desk." When you walked off, you walked in front of the panel's camera, and Bob and his panel have to do their hit again. And it was a 5-minute long, and it was perfect.
Oh, no.
And I got on the horn with Billy or whoever, and I said, "You people need to just fix this, because if he finds out that he's got to do that again, he is going to go." Everyone was owly.
Yeah. By the end, it's 10 hours. It's
Right,
a long day.
And
It's
they
a
were
long
like,
day.
"They got to do that hit again." I said, "Pardon me." Just went right to upstairs. I'm like, "You got to fix it."
Yeah. Something's got to happen.
So, you know what? For you making them edit it and fix that, you walking through, they jammed you up during the game. They're like, you know what? Watch this. But I mean,
I think you got to embrace it, man. It was funny. It was nothing. Totally harmless.
It was harmless, but
and you
I
had
was
the same
horrified.
reaction every had. It was a big stop.
I'm sitting in my
Yeah, I get
office,
it. But in the history of all the live sporting events, that's the first time it's ever happened, and it's got to be me. Why?
Well, I hear
that.
you,
I
but-
don't know because I was sitting in my office and I'm watching it, and
Jamie, that's what the
I was
reaction
like,
I
they
had.
just-
I was watching it. I'm like,
they just
what
cut
the
to-
hell did I just see?
I had the
they
same
just
thing.
cut to the studio. Like,
I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, there's O.
How many people were glad they had DVR because right away they jumped up and rewound it.
I would love to be able to get the metrics on that. I would think it crushed a Toronto Maple Leaf game record for rewinds.
No kidding.
Like, there's no way there's been another moment that was rewound. Is that the right word? Rewound.
yeah.
More than the O-Dog face in the third period last night.
Unless there's like a controversial, like no goal, no.
Still, not even. Because everyone's seen that. Nothing's going to happen in a game where I'm like, I haven't seen that at some point. I have never seen what I saw in the third last night, ever. I've been watching sports for
Me
30
neither,
years.
never.
I've never seen it cut to the studio out of nowhere.
I
like
don't.
Howie Long just sitting there, huh?
No, I
No,
could-
it's just me. No,
I've never
I
seen
could
it.
feel
Of
like
course.
I feel like Pete Rose falling asleep. Like they would have cut to that one and been
No.
like, watch this.
No, it was the most rewound thing in the history of television.
I think it might have been.
Because
I think-
I rewound it. And then what happened was I put it back to live. Steph was out in the living room.
Laughing her ass off.
she was howling.
was dying. But then she's 5 minutes behind the game.
Because she's still
'cause
rewinding it so
she's-
much.
She's now thinks she's live again, but
yeah.
she's not. So I come out. I'm like, the game's over.
Well,
She
TSN.
texts me and she's like, "Excuse me, I think something happened." And I called her and I was like, "I'm glad you think." She was
dying.
Yeah,
She was
crying loud.
Like
I'm glad you think it's that funny.
I left you alone last night. I wasn't going to, because I knew you would find out. I mean, you jumped on Twitter. Immediately, people were sending the
I
caption.
think it was
and the-
like trending. Like
it went viral. Like, what we need, I'm surprised TSN doesn't do this because they jump on any opportunity they can for a press release. You know, they just did it for the game on Friday when DeMar was back on Friday night. That smashed records, most watched regular season game in the history of the country.
Right.
And they always have the details, you know, peaked at this, average audience this. They should have a press release on the
if there
game
was a
last night
spike.
just to see what the number was in terms of rewinds on the PVR when your face popped
with
onto
like
the
4
screen.
minutes left in the game or whatever it was. There's a peak right there.
Right. TSN, Canada's sports leader, breaks the record for the most rewinds in the history of PVR in the country.
Yeah. And for my fellow broadcasters with different networks that had to chime in,
Yeah.
I'll be watching every single god darn moment
I
you
saw
do.
that one.
You better
Every
watch
single
yourself.
moment, because if I see you pick your nose or a booger or dandruff or anything, I am going to tweet about it.
Yeah. It was in good fun.
It wasn't good fun, but I'm watching everyone.
We're all on high alert.
Yeah, and I'm not just watching the people that had the audacity to tweet it. I'm watching your colleagues too, because I'll just do it to them.
Yeah.
I'm like a mafia guy. I'm not going after you.
It's
I'm
the
going
whole
after
family.
Yeah, it's it.
It's
the
the
whole
whole
family.
Everyone is in the crosshairs now.
Everyone.
It was great though. I mean, great. I was horrified being an on-air person because I'm like, I put myself there. I'm like, okay, that could have been me. How many times have we been warned? You know, you're near a microphone, you're near a camera, like, presume it's hot. But that's, you let your guard down.
But
you're watching a
I'm
game.
doing my job.
But he didn't do anything.
I
He was
know,
watching the game, and then he reacted to a great stop. It wasn't
know.
like,
It just-
you know, it wasn't a Bill O'Reilly moment or anything. It was a
It's just scary.
natural reaction.
It's scary because I was scared for you because I thought, man, that could have been a lot worse. And it wasn't. It
Well-
was fun. It was all right.
We're going to read some captions throughout the day because people are captioning this.
Yes.
And there's a few coming in.
There
You
are
wanna-
some
Do you want to hear
funny
a few
ones.
of the ones I've seen over the past 24
Go
hours?
ahead.
On
Enlighten.
Twitter, on Instagram. The first one I thought of, this was my own creation. When you realize you forgot your track pants and you have to wear your jeans snowboarding. That's the face you lay down.
No, there were some.
There were some ones
creative
that were
ones.
really creative and really offside, quite
Yeah,
frankly.
We can't bring them on.
Someone just sent in this tweet. When the cabbie does want McDonald's.